So, hello everyone. This is Sean Taylor.
And Liam of the Cannaba Podcast.
Welcome to Cannaba Podcast.
Cannaba.
So, Liam, big world news these days with this Iran USA war.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about it?
I know nothing about it.
You don't know anything about it?
No. I know what people have told me,
Okay.
which is like very little information.
So, I've read up on it and I've been watching the news lately because it's affecting the stock market as well. And,
Like a lot or just
a lot.
I know isn't it affecting gas here?
Yeah,
Gas
a lot.
prices?
Well, yeah.
It's like $2
$2 a liter.
is crazy.
In the U.S., it's over $3 a gallon, even $4 a gallon. You know,
I wasn't keeping like active in the news at all, and just suddenly, like I was putting the same amount I usually put of gas in my tank, and it just wasn't filling it at all. I was like, is there something wrong with my car? What's going on?
exactly. No, it's like for a small car, it's like $75 to $85 to fill up a car now. You know,
Canadian.
I
don't check gas prices. I never have. I just sort of go with it.
Yeah.
Usually stays the same.
Yeah. No. It's had a global impact, and it's even affected the stock market. So stocks have gone down,
But you'd think that it wouldn't affect us too bad since we produce so much oil here.
Supposedly, from what I've understood, we in Canada don't have any oil reserves. So we have
a ton in Alberta.
There's no reserves.
What do you mean reserves?
We make what's needed for the market. So there's nothing like stored away.
It's not that there's no reserves, it's that we just export everything we collect to other countries, right?
Correct. In pipelines and stuff. I think there's some used for us, but we have no reserves. We have nothing like stored up.
We don't keep it and refine it ourselves.
No. Here. We don't keep the refined oil.
That's not too ideal.
No, exactly. And I think that's why the US is saying that they don't need the oil from Iran either, because the US makes lots of oil.
Yeah, they're big too.
Yeah, exactly. But do you know why this situation is happening? Like, what's the underlying reason why all of this was,
I don't want to get political with this.
Well, no, let's not get political. I mean, you can say, well, this is all Donald Trump trying to, make a name for himself or something. But the fact of the matter is that Iran has what's called a autocracy, right? So their political system is very similar.
How do you say that? Is it autocracy or autocracy or
autocracy or autocracy, whichever way you want to say it? But they have the way they're structured is they have this supreme leader that's just, he's the son of the last supreme leader. So it's
like North Korea.
Exactly like North Korea. Very, very similar. It's not the same exact authoritarian government, but very similar.
Yeah.
And the problem with Iran is that they are technologically pretty advanced. So they've been working on enriching uranium. So do you know what happens when you enrich uranium?
I don't know what enriched uranium means, but I know uranium is used in nukes.
Correct. So when you mine uranium, it comes in rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
And the natural form of uranium, at least as far as I understand it, is uranium 238, the isotope, and you can enrich it to what's called uranium 235, which is the isotope of uranium that is.
You know how they do that? What do they do?
They use a centrifuge.
Oh, they just spin it really fast.
Yeah. They spin it really fast, and then the lighter isotope of uranium they can collect somehow. So they're able to enrich it, and then from that you can make nuclear weapons. And the concern that the U.S. and Israel have now, and I would assume this would be a concern globally. I mean, if I were like any other country in the world that's a westernized country, I would be concerned about this. Is that Iran has not just they don't just have the know-how, but they have the resources to do this because they make a large proportion of the world's oil. So they have huge monetary resources to be able to become a nuclear power. And you don't want
anyone to be a nuclear power.
Well, you don't want to, and especially not someone who's a dictator.
Yeah, for
right?
Sure.
Who hates Israel.
Yeah.
And doesn't like westernized countries either. Right?
Didn't Iran used to be like different? Like, didn't it used to be completely different before?
They've always had this supreme leader type government, and I think that some of these leaders have come and gone and been good versus bad.
I thought they used to be a democracy at some point, and then like the dictators came in. Unless that was a different country.
No, but the latest supreme leader is really like was in the far left. Now, when they went in, they and the first time they killed him, so he's gone from the initial attack.
Yeah, they struck him.
Yeah, from the I don't know how they
missile
did it,
strike, I
guess. But now it's his son that's been sort of,
and his son has the same ideas and stuff.
Yeah, and they're very much against, like there's deep troughs politically between Israel and Iran and then U.S. and Iran, but U.S. and Israel are allies.
Yeah.
So but the problem now is that Iran's strategy then, because they knew the U.S.'s military might would be way too strong for them to resist. So what they've done is they've used their missiles and drones to attack their neighboring countries where there are U.S. bases, and they're attacking the energy reserves of those countries in the Middle East.
Like countries that support America, or just that contain a military base?
That support America or have military bases from America.
Okay, so the countries that are allowing the U.S. military.
Yeah, they're kind of allies to the U.S. So Qatar is a good example. And Qatar makes, I think it's something like 30% of the world's liquid natural gas reserves. So they've bombed that whole facility that they just built. So Qatar spent $20 billion, and now that facility, so that's 17% of
$20 billion.
So that's 17% of liquid natural gas that's not getting out of Qatar.
Okay, so that explains the prices.
Yeah, well, not just that. The Strait of Hormuz, which is this waterway that all the oil tankers go down to get to go overseas shipping, it's controlled by Iran. And that strait is only 40 miles wide or something, or 30 kilometers wide. So they're controlling they're blocking all the shipments through that strait. So now oil from the Middle East can't make it out. Something like 30% of oil. So now it's natural gas and oil and so on. So this is why oil prices are going up, because there's a decrease in supply.
So what's happening in Iran now? Like, is there people there, or? So
it sounds like the U.S., based on all the recent information and speeches from Trump and the news, it very much sounds like the U.S. is going to do a ground assault.
Okay, so they're not there yet. They haven't done it.
But it sounds like it's going to happen very, very soon. I would even hazard a guess that it would be as soon as next week.
I'm guessing probably Israel is going in with them.
They're already there with them, but
Israel's in already.
I don't think they've gone in for ground warfare yet. They're
Speaking of, apparently a U.S. jet got shot down over Iran.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It is. And they actually just today or yesterday they finally found the pilot. They got
alive?
Yeah, they got him out.
No way.
Yeah.
How?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're these
That's
pilots.
Crazy.
Yeah, they're trained to evade, right? So
but isn't there two pilots in it? in each jet?
There is, but
Both of them got out?
I think the first pilot already got out, and then it was the second pilot that was
stranded for a while
or something. Yeah,
hiding around.
Yeah, and they were doing search and rescue and stuff, and it's dangerous because they have to fly low, for search and rescue,
and then another one's gonna get shot down.
They risk, it's a risk, right?
That's crazy.
So anyway, so this is what's going on. I think Iran's strategy with all of this is either the Middle East countries join them or they attack them, and that's this is so this could end up being even worse than what it was before, right? Like oil prices could go even higher. Imagine if they start bombing all the oil generating facilities in these countries like Saudi Arabia. And
it should be an eye opener to Canada to start making our own gas.
That's what I'm thinking, right? But I feel like the world is kind of thinking that Iran is going to suddenly just back down and everything's just going to be all right. I think I think this is what everyone's hoping, and it's very uncertain. It feels like Iran is very highly resolved to not back down.
Didn't it all start when the U.S. told Iran to stop making
nuclear weapons,
and they said no?
Mm-hmm.
And they still want to make more, I guess.
Well, yeah, because it started with the U.S. bombing the nuclear generation facility, like where the centrifuges were.
Man, nukes are the worst, man.
I know.
Everyone needs to get rid of nukes.
Exactly.
If a war starts now, like a major world war, and people opt for nukes, it's over. That's it.
I agree with you.
Worldwide nuclear fallout, everyone goes underground.
Yep.
That might not even work.
But I still feel like if a country like Iran got a hold of a nuclear weapon or two and used them, then that would just be the end of Iran.
It'd be the end of Iran, but then if Iran shot nukes to the US hopefully would just have anti-nuke technology. I don't know, maybe missiles that'll shoot them down, or
I mean, it could definitely it could lead to
if the U.S. sends a nuke back towards Iran, other countries are going to start sending nukes.
I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. No, I don't. I think that we are still, like, for the non-radicalized countries that actually have democracies, I think that there is still a lot of checks and balances before that happens.
Yeah, but if the U.S. think about who has nukes.
Yeah.
Do a lot of countries like what you just said have nukes? Yes, but half of the countries that have nukes are not like that. Right?
Well, are not democratic nations.
Well, yeah.
Oh no, I think most of them are. I think the only countries that are really not are, some of the communist countries that are out there, but
true communism.
But even those countries are very, very well aware of the worldwide damage that could cause. So there's restraint. I'm talking about these crazy banana republics like
North
Korea, and then if Iran, right? Because those countries, they're radicals, right? These are radical people.
But that too, if the U.S. launches a nuke, I feel like North Korea would launch a nuke.
I don't know. I don't even know
if they have.
Yeah, I don't think they have. I feel like they don't have because the U.S. would know about it and then they would invade North Korea, right?
Yeah.
To stop it. I think the reason why there's so much focus on Iran is because there is a true and present danger, So, a lot of people are against what the U.S. is doing.
Like invading?
So given what I've told you,
I'm against bombing civilians.
But do you think...
But in order to stop a nuclear disaster, I think it's okay to try to stop those facilities from functioning.
Because the other side of the story, which is what people are arguing for, is that now's not the time to do this in Iran because they haven't made nuclear weapons yet. That's what they're saying. So we should only
invade once they have nuclear
we should only
weapons?
invade once we know for sure that they're able to make nuclear weapons.
That doesn't make sense, because if you start invading a country that has nukes, like a country's going to use nukes when they're desperate, and when you start invading their country, then they're desperate.
So this is exactly what I think. I'm with you. Like I think that you need to be preemptive in these situations, because these weapons are mass destruction, as you said, right? I mean, you're like, that's it. It's the ultimate weapon, right? Yeah. You don't want these countries making these weapons.
Yeah,
right.
I think our humanity is like way less advanced than we should be, because of all these like stupid conflicts everywhere.
Oh, I agree.
I think we're meant to be one tribe, right? But we can't figure out how to. No one wants to like be underneath anyone else. No one wants to create a world government that actually works, because
it's all based on power.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to have the upper hand.
If everyone just worked together and shared the land and shared the resources, we'd be in space by now. We'd be like so advanced.
But I think that's a typical Canadian mentality. Yeah. I think Canadians are all about all for one and one for all. You know what I mean? I think that's why we have a social network, and that's why we have, free healthcare and subsidized education and so on, because we believe in taking care of our fellow man through paying taxes and so on.
Not everyone, like there's a lot that are not like that, but based on who's getting voted in, yeah, probably.
So here it's a cultural thing, but I can tell you in the US it's a lot more capitalistic. It's really it's about the individual,
making money.
It's about me getting ahead of my neighbor, and so, and I think you're right. It would be hard to have a world order, because someone has to say, I'm going to follow.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that would be challenging, but hopefully we'll get there. I mean, hopefully over the years we'll evolve, right, to become a more, global.
Because there's problems with every form of government that we think of. Like, capitalism pits people against each other.
Yeah.
But it allows for like
innovation.
Yeah.
Fast innovation,
but it also slows innovation, because people don't want to share what they create.
Correct. Yes.
So it allows for innovation, but like slower than it could be.
Right.
Communism, everyone shares, everyone gets the same. So no one really needs to innovate. No one wants to.
Right.
Because it's a lot of work for no payoff.
Yeah.
So innovation is much slower. But if people are actively working on it, they'll share what they find, their findings.
Well, unless the government
has programs for it
and forces innovation, right?
Yeah.
Has programs.
But then there's the risk of communism turning into like an autocracy or a dictatorship.
Right. Yeah.
And then a dictatorship is just bad corruption.
Yeah. Well, corruption and potential for lethal danger as well, right?
Yeah. You need someone at the top.
I mean, did you hear about that guy that almost died from being poisoned from Russia on an airplane?
I think I heard of that. But
they gave him some nerve toxin agent or something that went on his skin, and he almost died. Yeah. They saved him at a hospital.
But that's just. Do you think corruption is human nature? Like, we get corrupt? That's just a thing that happens?
I don't know.
Or do you think that's a learned?
I think corruption is.
You think it's a learned behavior?
I think it's learned, but I also think it might stem. Like, it depends. It can stem from just the absolute desire for power, but it could also stem from desperation too, right?
Or fear.
or fear.
Like, let's say you're in the government and a company's like offering you a ton of money to not like ban something that'll help people.
Yeah.
Like they're offering, like a pharmaceutical company, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to make like healthcare more accessible and medicine more accessible. They'll pay you a ton of money, and if you refuse, you're gonna magically disappear. So you're scared, so you accept the bribe.
Right. I don't think a pharmaceutical company is going to make people magically disappear. I hope not.
Well,
but
I don't know, man.
But I do think that as far as this whole world, like Iran conflict goes, I do think that there is a valid reason for preemptively trying to change the Iranian government structure. Like they're trying to, encourage Iranians to rise up and form a new democratic government that doesn't involve an autocratic supreme leader to be able to run the country, democratically and effectively, so that you don't have a dictator controlling nuclear weapons.
But then it just sucks because that it's going to get corrupt anyways.
It does.
Every nation's. But
then what do you do? Like, what do you do in this situation for Iran? Like, just if you were Donald Trump now, what would you do to
assure
to fix this problem now? Because now here we are. We're in this situation where we've gone in, we've attacked them on multiple fronts, and they've taken the stance that we're going to stop energy getting, like oil and natural gas, getting out of, as best as we can, getting out of the Middle East, and it's only going to get worse. So what can you do now to make this better?
Well,
like, what would be their strategy if they're in their war room right now trying to plan, how are we going to fix this? What do you think they're going to do?
It's tough because even if they make it a democracy, people are going to hate them because they're going in and starting a war in their home. So,
but do you think the U.S. should just take over Iran, like, or Israel, or the joint Middle Eastern nations or something? Like what should happen?
I don't think anyone should take over anyone. Like, that's what I was saying before. I feel like.
But how do you stop this? How do you stop this? How do you end
stop it from escalating?
Yeah. How do you end this without Iran? Having a dictatorial leader that's sitting on the potential of making nuclear weapons. How do you end this? Now
it's tough. You can try to set up a democracy, but we'll see how long it lasts.
Without being perceived that you're just taking over a country. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, like Trump was saying about taking over Greenland or Canada, right?
Well, I mean, they kind of they did it in the past, not fully successfully, but they did it in
Africa,
in Korea.
Well, UK did it in Africa. They UK ran South Africa for years before Mandela came back.
And in Korea, the US came, but they were already in a civil war. I don't know if there's two sides in Iran. Like, are the people for or against what the U.S. is doing there?
I think that there are some people that are for, and I would say probably a lot of people that are just because this government has been very oppressive.
Like, so they don't like the government there.
I think there's a lot of people that don't like what's going on, like citizens of Iran.
So it could work. Like, they take out that government system,
and those citizens, like, what chance do they have? Like, it'd be like someone telling us to go take over the government. What the hell do you do? How do you do that? You know, what do you do? Go with pitchforks and whatever?
Well, they like the U.S. did that in Korea. They joined one of the sides, the democratic side, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly the details, but they joined the South Korean side. They forced back the North Koreans as much as they could. They couldn't fully take over the country.
Right.
And then now it's a democracy. So whatever they did there worked for them.
So maybe they have to use that as the model. Like, because they have to do something. I mean, the thing is, you can't like if they leave now,
Yeah.
then Iran just says we won and we can do whatever we want.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they can't do that. And if they stay, then they have to do something. Right?
Yeah.
You know? So I think
Well, they're gonna have, if they want to do anything in Iran, they're gonna have to stay for a while. Like,
yeah.
Because like radicals are not gonna give up.
Yeah.
They're radical. They're gonna
and they
keep
also
trying.
they have mountains and stuff. Like this is gonna be crazy kind of warfare, right? Like it's
They have to stay until there's a system that works.
Right.
But then even if they leave, the radicals might disassemble it right away.
Yeah.
Like what happened in Afghanistan.
Yeah. It's a very challenging situation, I think. This is not going to be easy. I think for Israel, it was a coup for the president of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, to convince Donald Trump to attack Iran.
But I think
because I'm sure Israel wouldn't have done it on their own, and now that the US is involved, their hands are tied. They have to stay involved.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that there should be a special, like all NATO countries come together and form a special force that gets rid of all nukes. That's their goal.
I think
to get rid of nukes.
I think that would be a great idea, and I think that what you're saying about NATO, because Trump actually has been trying to convince the NATO nations to get involved with the Iran war, especially for the Strait of Hormuz, to just unblock, because a lot of the oil, most of the oil and natural gas that goes through the Strait of Hormuz is for European countries.
Yeah.
So, which is where a lot of the NATO allies are, right?
Yeah.
And so he's trying to, and what they're saying is, this isn't our war. We didn't do this. We didn't initiate this, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's short-sighted even of them, right? I mean, how long, like, why would you not want to assure that a radical nation cannot have nuclear weapons? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but I think, like,
and then they could all go in together, right? Then it would be the NATO going in and taking over Iran.
Because I think just US going into Iran in general is creating more radicals.
Right.
Like as soon as you invade a country, people are going to hate you. People
right.
are going to do anything to make you
But
stop.
if you go in as a nation, as NATO, then
as humanity,
yeah,
trying to do a humanitarian thing to stop a world disaster from happening.
Yeah. And then what? They blame everybody, then it's what? Then it's the whole world against them. Well, yeah, it is the whole world against them.
Then they'll start doing radical stuff everywhere, but like it's better than a nuke going off somewhere.
Yeah. So I guess that's coming from, again, the peaceful Canadians, trying to come up with a solution that's actually going to work.
I think the only way that the whole world is going to come together is if there's some major disaster,
or if the aliens come.
If aliens come, I mean, actually, if aliens come and start invading,
that would unite the whole world.
It would definitely unite the world.
We'd probably all die because they would, if they come, if means
aliens have the technology to get here.
Yeah, then we're gone.
Yeah,
But
if not, and we manage to survive it, the world's going to be
a much different place. The world will be a much, much different place.
Closer together for I don't know, a year, and then they'll all go back to work.
I wouldn't think so. I would suspect that would be it. They'd
form an international
because we wouldn't know when other alien races or that race would come back. Right?
There would have to be a world government after that.
Exactly.
There would have to.
Yeah.
And then if we started colonizing other planets, maybe there'd be conflicts between those.
Yeah, imagine that'd be
interplanetary wars instead of countries.
Yeah. Speaking of interplanetary, another thing in the news: Artemis spaceship. Did you hear about this?
No. What company is it?
This is NASA.
Oh.
So NASA, obviously SpaceX is involved somehow.
Yeah.
Because
SpaceX
is involved with everything.
But like SpaceX is awesome. You have to admit the fact that
I think Elon Musk is awesome.
The fact that they created like rockets that can re-land half of their components back on Earth is like crazy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
No, I agree with you. But Artemis II, so that's the name of this program, has sent 4 astronauts on a capsule to orbit the moon and then come back to Earth. So the first mission is not to land on the moon. So they're somewhere on their way to the moon, or maybe they're on their way back now. I don't know.
What, to see if it's still possible to get there or something?
To just test all the equipment, right? Because they made new rocket and new capsule and new everything.
Yeah, it must be so much more efficient than when was it? Like the 60s when they first went?
Yeah, it's been decades. It's been decades.
Almost
probably 30, 40 years since we've gone. Maybe even longer.
To the moon, it's been a really long time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you figure it was, I think the last moon landing was probably in the 70s. So what's that? 60 years ago.
I wonder,
almost 50 years ago.
I wonder if the new rockets are going to be AI assisted.
I think they are. And so this mission, believe it or not, there's a Canadian astronaut.
Oh, nice.
Out of the 4 people that are on this mission, his name's Jeremy Hansen.
But is he going? He's just going around the moon, right?
Yeah. But still, I mean, there's only 4 of these people on there.
Yeah. That's cool.
So he's the first non-American to fly around the moon.
Yeah.
He's Canadian.
This part of the mission is cool, but I'm more interested in the next stage. Yeah.
So have you read up on this?
Well, you told me about it a little bit.
Yeah. So the next mission will be a moon landing. So they're gonna like all the other ones. They're gonna land on the moon, and I think the lander is being made by SpaceX even. Mm-hmm. But then what they were supposed to do was they were going to build an orbiting moon station.
Like on the moon, not
orbiting around the moon.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they were going to do.
Why not on it?
Well, good question. They canceled that program to divert all the money. So it's like they have a $20 billion budget or something to now build a station on the moon. So that's what they're going to do.
I mean, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Than another space station orbiting it.
And it's like, I didn't even know about any of this. It's a big deal. They're gonna, supposedly the plan is to have a moon station up and running within the 2030s. So that's not long. That's in my lifetime.
That's super not long. That's 4 years.
Well, 4 years to 2030. So, let's say they finish everything and it's up and running by the end of that decade. Still, it's only 14 years from now.
And if they're building a big facility, like, I don't know if they want to build like a big facility there to like build rockets on the moon. That would make things a lot easier.
I think this is what they mentioned, is that having a moon station is the big step towards a Mars mission. So they want to have a moon station, I'm assuming, from there to build like a larger rocket ship, or maybe to launch a rocket ship from, because it'd be much less expensive.
The gravity is so like low there.
Yeah, it'd be much less expensive to launch a ship from the moon.
It doesn't have to leave an atmosphere. It doesn't have gravity to fight.
Yeah.
You could build a massive thing. You could build a huge spacecraft that has never been even thought of before.
Well, and you can imagine that if they can perhaps mine some of the materials from the moon itself, then they might have raw materials that they could use that are directly from the moon's surface to build this thing.
Oh man, if they imagine if they start building a giant spacecraft in space around the moon, well, like above the moon station or on it, I'd want to go work on that. That'd be cool.
Can you imagine? So it's pretty neat, and I think
to be like a tech working on that.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. So these plans are already in place. So this is really exciting. I mean, I feel bad for for NASA right now because it feels like this whole Iran thing has taken the wind out of the sails of
Taking the
this.
spotlight away.
Yeah, because this is huge. This is a big deal, right? I think this
It's a big deal for humanity.
exactly. As opposed to, well, I mean, the Iran thing is a big deal for humanity as well, though. So that's the problem, right?
It's not a big deal for the evolution of humanity.
No,
Like,
it's a negative big deal.
We've always had wars and like
Yeah.
conflict. It's normal,
That's
but going to build a station on the moon that could allow for interplanetary travel would be like the biggest step ever in human history.
100%. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And not just that. I mean, by having regular, like, by having people that are essentially inhabiting the moon at that stage, right? Because I'm guessing this will be like our International Space Station. There's always going to be people there. It will permit a much deeper exploration of the lunar surface as well. Maybe, I don't know if we've discovered that there's water on the moon, because if there's water, then you can make fuel and stuff, So all of this now is going to become more possible. It really moves the exploration of humanity off planet Earth.
If they need like construction workers to build a big facility up there and they're hiring,
you'd go?
I'd volunteer for it.
Yeah?
For sure. I'd want to see that.
It's who knows? It's possible, right? I mean, it depends on
I know the hours would be hell, probably.
Well, and it depends on how ambitious they are too, right? Like on what, like how is this moon station really just going to be a means to an end to build a rocket to go to Mars, or is this going to be a permanent thing where they're going to expand this and maybe terraform, do some greenhouses and actually have a community that lives on the moon and all this? If that's the case, then for sure they're going to need all people with all expertise in plumbing and electricity and heating and everything, right? They're going to need all these.
But it wouldn't just be that. You'd have to have special, like you'd have to be like they'd probably create a class, like a trade for it specifically, like
for working in
space technology
in low gravity situations.
Well, I'm sure everyone who's sent up there would have to know how to repair a leak. If there's a pressure leak, you'd have to learn how to repair it. I was thinking of ways like if there's a hull that's breached, imagine they have these like special plates with magnets around, so you can magnetically lock it on and then weld around the magnets. That'd be cool.
Now, what if you were to go up there and you're using your expertise and you're doing all this and they like how you're doing it, and then they say, we want you for the next step?
The Mars,
because you might never come back at that stage, right?
I'd probably go.
Yeah.
Cool. I'd probably go, because then you're a part of history by that point. You've done a major thing for all.
Well, you go down. You definitely go down at somewhere in the history books, like all the explorers from Europe back in the 15 and 1600s.
Maybe not your name. Right? Maybe not your name in particular, but if people looked in the records, you'd be there.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah. So this is it's exciting, and I think, like you said, with Elon Musk's support, all this has been made possible. What do you like the most about Elon Musk?
Man, I think he's a guy who just loves sci-fi and he wants it to happen now.
Yeah. Well, in his lifetime, right? He doesn't. He wants to see it.
Yeah. So he's going as hard as he can to get it to happen.
Yeah.
He's just doing everything that I find is super cool. Like growing up watching iRobot, and you're like, wow, imagine if that happened.
Yeah.
He watched it. He's like, wow, imagine if that happened. I'm gonna make it happen, and he's doing it now. Have you seen the Tesla? What is it? Tesla Optimus?
No.
It's like a robot that he's making. He said he wanted it to come out like soon, maybe this year. I don't know when.
Oh yeah, I did see it. I
When
saw
it's coming.
like they had like they've had videos and stuff like at trade shows and stuff where they've tried to show.
And I think at those trade shows they had humans piloting them.
Okay.
Like serving people popcorn and stuff.
Right.
But if they actually, and like Elon Musk is like increasing AI technology, robotics, self-driving cars, electric cars. He's trying to build a better infrastructure with the Boring Company, which is digging holes under LA. I don't know if they stopped doing that, but he wanted to build underground networks to make traffic easier.
Okay.
He's doing Neuralink, which could be insane if it's done correctly.
So linking technology into your brain.
Yeah.
To cure like.
It could cure. So what his initial thoughts is that it could cure blindness. It could cure deafness. And for paraplegics, they could use computers and like be fully immersed in stuff.
I wonder if they could put a neural link into someone who has a severed spine, and then it would cure paralysis.
I'm sure like they would try to work on that eventually.
So you think, Liam, that eventually we will become cyborgs? We will become flesh and silica?
I think that if you want us to be able to get better technologically,
yep,
eventually you'd have to start incorporating stuff because you can't know everything. But if you have AI in your brain,
yep,
and you want to calculate something, you'll calculate instantly.
Right.
Boop, done. I figured out exactly how large that object is and how fast it's moving.
But that begs the question.
Is it still you?
Given the fact that our biological selves are so inefficient.
They're very efficient.
Are we going to evolve to just become fully silica based? Like, are we just going to become computers?
I don't know if that's evolution so much as just deleting humans and becoming robots instead. Because you're effectively transferring your memories onto a hard drive or something similar.
But consciousness,
I don't even know if it's possible to transfer that.
I bet you one day it will be. I have a feeling that we're going to end up that way.
But
we're going to go from we're going to incorporate more and more technology into our bodies to the point
like cyberpunk
to the point where one day it'll just be like a download of your consciousness into a computer, and then you'll just be alive forever,
But would you?
Because then you wouldn't need to eat.
Would that be you, or would you die, and then there's a robot you?
Well, that's the question.
Survives after. A lot of people would think that you're just dying, and then it's a robot who's walking away.
Yeah,
and I wonder if they'd be able to simulate like the chemicals in our bodies that allow for emotion and stuff, like serotonin.
I'm sure it's coming.
Dopamine, all that.
I'm sure that will be the ultimate transition for the human race.
I'm wondering if there would be a different transition. Maybe something that could, like nanites that they put in your bloodstream that automatically
regenerate cells, get rid of
automatically regenerate.
So you live forever in
your body,
in your biological body.
Maybe it could rewrite DNA to shorten it, or the DNA is shortening or lengthening over time.
It's shortening. So they'd need to
they'd
prevent it from shortening.
Maybe they'd look at your stem cells, see what your DNA is supposed to look like, and then use that everywhere.
Use enzymes to lengthen the DNA and reverse aging and this kind of
reverse aging. And then if you get any disease, it could just notice it right away. That's not supposed to be there.
But still,
get rid of it.
When you think about it, it's inefficient to have to eat and drink. You're using resources.
It's
so if you could be completely silica based, then all that goes away.
But you're still consuming the same resources. Eating and drinking, you're consuming. The sunlight comes to Earth.
Yep.
The plants consume the sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
We consume the plants. We're still consuming the sunlight. We're still consuming the sun's energy.
Right.
If we're silica based, we're still gonna run using stars. Like that's the only energy source that there is out there.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll figure out a way to create antimatter.
But we wouldn't.
Or harvest.
But if we're silica based, we're probably not polluting the planet as much. You know,
it's not as wasteful.
We're able to work as a hive mind, all connected to each other.
We won't create giant trash heaps of plastic.
That's it.
We store our food in.
You're not driving cars anymore, right? Like not generating,
but
fossil fuel.
I'm sure people would still want to eat. Like it's one of the pleasures of life. People like eating.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's part of it. Well, people wouldn't want to.
But maybe there'd be a program or algorithm in your silica brain that mimics.
We make silicone donuts.
Or mimics eating, and you could just eat as much as you want for as long as you want, and you like.
Oh, like simulated.
Yeah.
You go into virtual reality in your brain.
Yeah.
You're just there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like I really do. I mean, I'm glad that it won't happen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Or probably not even in your lifetime. But I could imagine that this is the ultimate, presuming we don't destroy ourselves through environmental disasters, like global warming.
Yeah.
Or through war. And we actually do manage to figure out ways to preserve life on this planet.
We're gonna have to unite before then at some point.
Right. But if we do manage to do that, I think that our evolution will be in concert with computers and AI and technology.
It'll have to be. But it depends on imagine there's different factions. There's like the people who diverted towards silicone based life, and then the people who went towards the nanites to keep them alive forever.
Right.
There's the flesh people and the silica people, and they hate each other.
Yeah.
That could be a cool
science fiction story.
The Martian human colony and the Earth silica colony.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I think eventually, we're gonna keep expanding, unless man, I keep thinking of random stuff. The world population is slowly going down.
Oh, is it?
I don't know why, but
I thought it was going up.
Well, I don't know the world population, but I know a lot of countries the birth rate is going way down. I don't know why, but hopefully it keeps going up.
Right.
And if it does, we're gonna have to find solutions to keep it going up.
Why?
What do you mean?
Don't we want it to not go up to avoid consuming?
Well, if we start
more resources than we can have to feed the planet.
If we start colonizing, if we start spreading out into.
Oh, okay. You're saying
we can't keep expanding here on Earth.
No, exactly.
It's good if we stop here.
Yeah.
But if we need people to go colonize other places,
right,
it would be ideal if we're not just all depressed and stop having kids.
Yeah, but then but then what'll happen is they'll have artificial uteruses and they'll just take sperm and eggs from people and do artificial.
You'll be created in tanks
in a petri dish.
Yeah,
you'll just be made in a petri dish.
I think eventually, when we have enough people, trillions of people, probably much more, we're gonna start doing Dyson spheres. You heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Completely theoretical. We don't even know.
Spheres that go around like a sun to be able to harness all of its energy.
We don't even know if it's possible.
Right.
And how can you possibly collect enough material to build something completely around a star? Because they're massive. But if you can do that, you have energy for so long. And I'm wondering if we haven't spotted any other civilizations out there because they have Dyson spheres.
So therefore, you can't see the sun.
The sunlight is gone.
Sunlight's gone, so it's just you can't know what's there.
Because I think I heard about stars that just disappear. We don't know what happened to them. I'm wondering Because that would be so cool.
It would. But you know what? If a civilization is that advanced, we should be able to detect it. The only reason
it's the opposite.
Well, I was going to say the only reason why we wouldn't be able to detect a civilization
is if they don't want to be detected.
Exactly.
And they probably don't.
Right. So
I wouldn't want to be detected if I was that advanced.
So if you had access to a time machine where you could go travel into the future.
Yeah. I'd go.
Yeah?
I'd go as far forward.
What if you came
out and it's just a husk here? They already harvested the sun. There's nothing left.
No, not even. They've destroyed the planet. Like, like you go 100 years into the future and we've completely fucked up the environment here and it's dead. Like Earth is dying.
Hopefully I would be in a everything proof suit.
Right.
So that I wouldn't die instantly and not even know it happened.
Okay.
If I was in a suit like that, I'd go to the future, see if there's nothing, I'm just fucked. I'd just go back in time.
And then you just always live in the past in your time machine?
Well, I'd go to the nearest.
Just keep going 10 years back.
Yeah. Or maybe you go even forward in the future and they rebuilt the whole planet again.
Oh, that's true. It'd be worth trying.
Yeah. I'd definitely want to see what the future looks like. I'd
want to see both.
The past?
I would be so interested
in seeing
the dinosaurs.
I would be a lot less interested.
Really? I would love to see and to breathe the air from that time, like
the oxygen rich.
Yeah.
I feel like
and see the plants.
I feel like the risk is much worse to go back.
Well, yeah, the risk of dying.
Yeah, you go back and you just get eaten immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, crunch. Tyrannosaurus Rex or a giant,
pterodactyl or something.
Or something steps on you, like one of those giant ones. But
I feel like everything back then was built to kill everything else.
Yes.
And they were big.
It's like the whole world was like the Amazon jungle, essentially.
Yeah. If you go in the future, I'd be scared too if I had a time machine, because what if I go to the future and someone steals the machine and then everything could be messed up.
Right. It would be fascinating. I mean, the only way to time travel now would be if we develop some form of suspended animation where you could
or
be
light speed
frozen or put to sleep.
Or if you traveled at light speed for like a year and then traveled back.
Yeah, but we don't have the technology. We don't have engines. So what you would need now would be to go into some hyperbolic sleep until either until the future arrives for like 1,000 years, or until the technology arrives to be able to do future travel.
Essentially like Futurama.
Yeah.
Go into cryo sleep and wake up and it's the future.
Yeah. Yeah. I read a story. I think I read a story on this where they woke up in the future and then there was nothing. Like it was.
Oh yeah, that'd be depressing.
Yeah, it was just woods. Like it was. They had to build society.
Well, that'd be kind of cool. Still,
yeah.
It'd be like you're colonizing a planet.
Yeah.
Like, I think cryo is like awesome. That is such a cool concept.
Cryopreservation, like cryo sleep.
Because I think once we get into the stars and we start, if ever we reach the point where we're doing interstellar travel, travel between different star systems, it's going to get really depressing. Like your family is going to be the crew you're with, because everyone else is going to be dead when you come back.
Oh, for sure.
Because if you travel between stars, number one, you're going to have to go into some form of cryo sleep, because it's going to take decades, maybe centuries to get between stars. Depending on how fast we can travel.
Maybe even millennial, maybe even thousands of years.
Yeah, because if we're not even near the speed of light, it's going to take forever.
Yeah.
If we're near the speed of light, even if it doesn't take that long for you, a lot of time is passing to everyone else.
Because of
time dilation.
Time dilation.
So you're going to get to whatever planet you're going to. And if you're bringing stuff back to where you came from, you're going to get back there. Everything's going to be different.
Yep. Or not there.
Or there's a war that's happening right now. Or
war that happened.
Or now there's Terminator is happening.
Yeah.
AI is fighting back.
No, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's definitely a bright future. You know, I think I like to be optimistic about these things. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think there's a lot of pessimism out there around, you know, and maybe that's why the population is going down, because people are not optimistic about the future.
Yeah. Well, with climate change and everything that's going on
I like to
right
be
now.
optimistic, and I'm from the school of thought that humanity rises to occasions where we need to work together. COVID was a perfect example, right?
Yeah.
We developed so many technologies to be able to do quick vaccination and this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
like to defeat COVID. So
and more toilet paper and stuff.
yeah,
that was crazy. I can't believe, like, why?
I know.
Why is that what people go
were
for?
ransacking? Yeah, exactly. But I think that you know, we will, if we get to the brink of where we are now, like the environmental potential for environmental disaster, we will rise to the occasion. You know, I think we're already developing technologies,
but I think we need that too. We need something to make us rise to the occasion, because we're not going to unless.
Oh, you mean like a person, like
not a person,
a governing body? Or
no. Like I said, like we said before.
Oh, like an alien?
Anything that could be disastrous for us,
that can bind us together. Yeah.
Like, if climate change keeps happening and we're gonna go extinct because of it, we're gonna find a solution.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be horrible for a while, but we're gonna all unite.
My suspicion is that that's what it's gonna be.
It's gonna be good for in the long term, but not while it happens.
Yeah. I think, you know, I hope it's not in your lifetime that we reach the brink of needing to have that solution, but I think it's going to happen sooner than later. My suspicion is that the whole climate change thing is going to be, that's going to be the trigger, you know, and it's not going to be, you know, in the short term. But for that reason, it's still good to be optimistic, right? It's good to be optimistic and think that we can overcome this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, Liam, I think that's another episode.
Yeah.
Jeez, that was good.
Hell yeah.
So next week we will be back. I'm Sean.
I'm Liam.
And this is
the Canaba Podcast. Canaba.